Hi everyone and welcome to Tapas and Tarot time. It's Friday afternoon. We've made it through to the end of the week. So get yourself a wine, beer, cup of tea, cup of coffee, some snacks, and let's see what the cards hold in store for us for the weekend and the week ahead. So of course, reading from Wild Goddesses of the Screen and Beyond, that's a little booklet. And we'll see what the cards have to say. Okay, so just having a shuffle. Might be a shuffle. And we'll pull some cards. Jumping card, oh gosh, 2 jumping cards. All right. Okay, so just going to my place and breathe. Always a good idea. All right, dividing into 3 packs. And I'm just going to feel the energy of each pack with my left hand. My left hand's more sensitive because it gets less use. Ooh, definitely the 3rd. Okay. Ooh, one we haven't had before. As you know, I always find that very exciting. And, pardon me, our 2 jumping cards. Oh my gosh, synchronicity. When I pulled the cards out of the pack, somehow I just noticed Yuki on a Snow Woman. And I just went, oh yeah, I like that card, even though it's one of our darker cards. And I just happened to notice it as I pulled the pack out, and there she is right in the middle. She was trying to speak to me prior to me even shuffling. Okay, so our first card is Freya, the incredible Norse goddess. Now, Freya is a goddess of many things. She's a goddess of war, love, fertility, and in this particular pack, she represents the goddess of courage. So she's come at the basis of the reading. What this says to us is that over the weekend, over the week ahead, there's a project brewing or a step that you need to take that you're hesitant about because you're lacking courage. So it could be the final steps of a project. Perhaps that you've got an idea brewing that you think, oh God, this is not going to work. How am I going to make it happen? Remember that if it's something like that, your intention is that the project is happening right now. Let the universe work out the how. Wait for the signs, let the universe speak to you, and then take your action steps. So if you're struggling in that way, please pray to the incredible goddess Freya. She likes gifts of amber. So obviously amber's a resin. It might be difficult for you to find. Of course, if you have an amber piece of jewelry, you might bless it, put it on your altar for her. But you can also just go and buy a $3 pack of amber incense. Light it for her in honor of her. It's the gesture, it's the energy, and it's the effort that counts. So pray to her for the courage to make the steps that you want to make. I think I've left my earbuds in. Sorry, I'm just going to take them out. And I'm also going to leave this in just so that you know what a tool I can be. Sorry. All right, we go to our middle card. Yuki on a Snow Woman. Okay, now she is one of the darker cards. She's a goddess of warning about different paths to take. She has come up before and she has a terrifying reputation. The dark side of her mythology says that she lives in the snowy climes of Japan, in the mountains, and if you meet her, she eats the hearts and internal organs, I don't know why I'm laughing, of humans. That's the dark mythology. She comes to you in the dark to say that there is different paths you can take. Pray, listen for guidance. Before you go down a path, that is not in your best interests. You probably know it already. Like, let's pretend that you might have an interest in a romantic partner, but there's red flags showing up all over the place. But because we're often really romantic beings, we're ignoring all of that and going, oh no, blah, blah, there's the text, there's the blah, blah, blah. They might disappear for a week. Now, Yuki Honest Snow Woman is telling you, listen to your gut instincts. These red flags are not coming up randomly. They're coming up for a reason. If you're having difficulty about the choice of the two paths, then pray to her. Now, one of her gifts is black horsehair, which may be very difficult for people to get. But what you could do is a black crystal, a black obsidian, black tourmaline, something like that. Onyx, black onyx, and any white object. So if perhaps you'd like to plant a flower for her, a white rose, or an object of ice. Now, obviously that's going to melt, but as I say, it's the effort, the energy, and you being in process of honouring these goddesses is what they recognise. So remember, with Yuki on a Snow Woman, one path will have an outcome that is not in your best interest. So it's not so much like Ellen of the Ways, where she offers you paths and they each offer perhaps a different positive outcome. Yuki Honor is saying, nay lady, do not go there. Okay? All right. So that's our middle card. Now, this is the card we have definitely not had before, the incredible Marlene Dietrich. So this card is bisexual and polyamorous. Oh, God, I can't speak. I'm just going to read it. I wrote it myself. I'm going to read it. Polyamorous. It's not that hard to say, Tamara. Okay, so let's look at the meanings of this card. The incredible Marlene Dietrich comes up if you're in a situation where perhaps you want to explore, okay? Generally, this means sexuality, but it also has another meaning. So let's look at the first meaning first. You might feel a little bit trapped at the moment. You feel like your wings are clipped a little bit and you want to explore sexually. Perhaps you want to explore a bisexual relationship. Make a choice that is not generally what you would make. It might be that you're in a current relationship and you want to explore further. This is not necessarily bringing a third person into the relationship, although it could be. It just says that you're feeling a little contained at the moment. And there's a little bit of rebellion speaking to you at the moment, saying, hey, come on, we know you want to try a few things. Do it safely. Do it with honesty. Discuss it with your partner and see what happens. Okay? So Marlene was married to the same man all her life. However, they had an arrangement. She had multiple affairs with both men and women. She said sometimes she had 5 lovers a day. You know, we don't know how much of this is true, but it could be. The other reading of this card is that you may currently be experiencing a challenge where a more, how do I say it in the best, an approach with a little bit more testosterone would work well. Okay, a little bit more of a manly approach, a little bit more pragmatic, a little bit more of a less emotional, less yin approach to the problem will work for you, okay? So it's time to put your pants on, to be pragmatic, to get down, to sort out details, and to approach things with a little bit less yin, okay? You need a little bit more yang to make this challenge work for you, to get through it and to get the outcome that you would like. Now, that doesn't mean that you, in your own time, in your own moments, can't be sensitive about the issue. Of course, we feel shit. That's why we're human, okay? Animals feel stuff too. Don't tell me that they don't. However, in this particular instance, you need to be very practical. You need to put a plan in place And you need to save the emotion for your own private space, for your own meditation, for your own outlet. Like perhaps when you get emotional, you cook. You need to do something like that. Or you need to go and have your tears to yourself with your bestie. Okay? But when dealing with this one, you need to get it done. Okay? You need to employ the element of earth. Okay? Now, if you're having trouble, pray to Marlene. Okay? She loved to be adored. She loved to be honest. And she was the original cabaret woman in 1920s, 1930s in the Berlin scene, where she dressed as a man. That was part of her cabaret act. So please employ and pray to Marlene. If you want to explore sexually, remember, always be safe. If you feel like your wings are clipped, if you feel like, I just feel very contained at the moment, she is the movie star goddess for you. Okay? All right, let's recap our cards. We have Freya, courage. Okay? She is the goddess of courage. Also, she's the goddess of war, fertility, abundance. So if it's also in that areas that you feel like you need a boost or need help, please pray to her. Okay? The other thing that would be a good gift for her is a gold chain. Do you have any gold that you don't wear? It doesn't have to be real gold. Remember, it's symbolic. Okay? We have Yuki on a snow woman. Okay, there's a couple of paths that you could possibly go down. One will definitely not be in your best interest. You probably know which it is now. Okay? Remember, the red flags are there for a reason. Okay? And the last is the beautiful Marlene Dietrich, goddess of all goddesses. So remember, if you're feeling limited, if you're feeling contained, she's the goddess for you. You might want to make a sort of what you feel is a risky choice in some ways. Remember, risks are good, but be mindful, okay? All right, if you've got a challenge, and okay, I'll give you an example. A friend of mine is super sensitive. She's a fantastic horse rider, but her coach gave her some pretty harsh feedback, and she crumpled. She really took it personally. She really felt that she could not rise to the woman's coaching. Anyway, I did a reading for her, and this card came out, which the message was, you need to be more pragmatic. Yes, you feel hurt. Yes, you feel that you're not liked. It's not about that. It's just about the way you're riding the horse. You need to be less emotional. You need to employ some stronger aids, and you need to take the emotion out of the situation and remember what your objective is and follow the steps to achieve this. Okay? And hear the harsh criticism without falling into a heap. Look, you know what? Fall into a heap. That's fine. And then pick yourself up again and go, what do I need to do? So there are cards for today. Right. I am wearing a really vintage perfume today. I am wearing Chamade by Guerlain. Okay? I don't know why I couldn't get that out. Okay, Chamade is spelled Chamade, and Guerlain is, of course, the incredible house of fashion and perfume, makeup, skincare in Paris. Now, if you don't like vintage perfume, you ain't gonna like this. Okay? Look, some people could say that it smells like an old lady's perfume. To me, it just smells incredibly vintage. It's flowery, it's sweet. I go, yeah, now that's an old-fashioned perfume, but in the best possible way. So now, that looks really empty because I siphoned out the juice and put it in a spray bottle because I do love a spray. Bit heavy-handed. Oh, why does that not surprise you? Guys, Guys, have a wonderful weekend. If you wish to purchase the deck, please DM me, Instagram, I am the Horse Witch, PM me, Tamara Cook, Facebook, $49.95. Include your postage to anywhere in Australia. Plus I give you a 3-card read. Plus I give you some beautiful crystals, chosen and charged for yourself in a little mojo bag with herbs that, as I said, you can carry around for the rest of your life. Or please contact Cynthia at www.channelhealingco.com.au or on Instagram at channelhealingco. Guys, have a great weekend. You can also watch this on YouTube. It looks a little different on YouTube because I just have to do different graphics. But guess what? It's still me. Okay, have a great weekend and I'll see you next week. Bye.